Today, Be'ezrat Hashem, we are finishing now the Sfira of Netzach of Chesed. And tonight, Be'ezrat Hashem, we're going to be counting the Sfira of Hod of Chesed. Hod of Chesed, if we need to title it with two words, in Hebrew it's called Hakarat Tov. That I see the good that somebody does to me and I show appreciation for that action. It's called Hakarat Tov. And unfortunately, many people, they don't have this quality. Somebody can be kind to them, help them, go out of their way for them, and there's no Hakarat Tov here. When somebody does something good for you, a favor, help, or whatever it is, it's a basic thing, it's a pretty common thing, and agreed by everybody that you have to thank that person. Somebody does something good to you, you say thank you. But thank you is not really hakarat tov. This is just a word, thank you. You see sometimes parents, they want to teach the child, somebody gives the child a lollipop and the parent will say to the child, no, what do you say? Say thank you. So the child, like a robot, says thank you. And the child just doesn't understand what he's saying. So also with us, we used to, when somebody does something for us, we tell them thank you. That's in a good case. Some people even thank you don't say. But nevertheless, thank you is not hakarat tov. Thank you is just moving your lips and you saying a word, thank you. Hakarat tov, the real thanks, this is called midat hod, the midah of hod. There are many ways of interpreting hod. Today we're going to talk about hod specifically with the root of the word hod is for the word hoda'ah or hodaya, that I thank. It's a very big difference between all the ways of interpreting it. But nevertheless, when we want to show gratitude or appreciation, again, this is called hakarat tov, and the ultimate, the real hakarat tov is called midat hod. Now, when I really want to show somebody that I appreciate what they did, it's not because I owe them a thanks. It's because the emotions in the heart are so strong by the real, authentic gratitude for what that person did to me that it just comes out naturally. And in some cases, it won't come out naturally. I will feel these feelings of gratitude, but it will come out as a thank you. Needless to say, the other person says, thank you? That's what I get? A thank you? So we have in us, when somebody does something real good to me, this sensation in my heart that I want to thank that person. If I don't feel that, that's already a problem. We're talking about when you feel that. If a person does something good to you and you do not feel this overwhelming feeling to show gratitude, something's wrong in your system that you just think that you deserve it. That's already a big problem. We'll talk about it in the end of the class, what happens when that is going on. But nevertheless, when I have this emotion or this feeling in my heart that I want to show gratitude, this is coming from the midah, from the attribute that is called hod. Now, like I told you before, thanking is not just with your lips. That's very easy to say thank you. But the real thanking is taking the deep emotion in my heart and of thanks and gratitude and to express it outwards. And doesn't matter how it's going to come, because one person will feel that with a hug, another person will feel that with the right word, another person will feel that with an action. But nevertheless, this is the normal and basic thing that when somebody does something good to me, has to be some type of a hakarat tov. This is in very, very short what it means, Hod of Chesed. The gratitude, the feeling of gratitude and being thankful that's coming from love. It's not coming because I need to thank you or because I'm forced. It's because I am actually so overwhelmed with these feelings of gratitude, but it's coming from a place of love. This is Hod shebe'ava, Hod shebechesed. Now, if you're looking at our day, we're starting our day with thanking. Even though I explained the other day that when we wake up in the morning and we say Modeh Ani, it's not necessarily I thank you. Rather, modeh means I admit. We explained that in the first classes, that I have to start the day that I admit to Hashem that He's the force above me. Modeh ani lefanecha. I admit in front of you. This is grammatically correct in Hebrew. When somebody is found guilty, or before he's found guilty, they tell him, do you admit? Ata modeh? He says, ani modeh, I admit. So in the morning when I say, modeh ani lefanecha, I admit in front of Melech Chai V'Kayam, the ultimate king, that you are the king and I'm a nothing. But nevertheless, you can also keep the words in their context, and modeh ani lefanecha is that I thank you. So we start our day with thanking. And we thank the Kadosh Baruch Hu for creating me, for giving me life again, for today, what's awaiting for me. There's awaiting for me a lot of challenges. I already thank Hashem. Thank you for all the challenges I'm going to have to deal with today. The bank is going to call, the credit card company is going to call, the landlord is going to call. I'm going to get so many calls today. Thank you, Hashem, that it's only the landlord that's calling and not Hotzah Lapol that is going to call. So, but nevertheless, we start the day with thanking. And this is, so to say, the attribute or the power of the morning, that you start the day with thanking. Now, why do you want to start your day with thanking? Because however you start your day, that's how most likely the day will continue. And if you thank Hashem deeply in the morning for creating you, for giving your soul back, for giving you another opportunity, then by default you are humbling yourself in front of Hashem, so the rest of the day you carry with you feelings of gratitude and thanks, not only to Hashem, to other people that do good things to you. Now, the same ways with Hashem, it's the same way also with people. So if I constantly thank Hashem, we're not now learning classes about how I need to have thanks and gratitude to Hashem all the time. But the same way that we're learning that I need to have thanks and gratitude to Hashem, then it will work the exact same way with people. That I want to thank Hashem for the good and the bad. I have to thank the people around me for the good and the bad. Sometimes people in my life, they do certain things. To me it seems bad. I still have to thank them for that, because they are putting me in the right perspective. Perfect example, even though I can't give you too many details. Yesterday somebody told me something. On the surface it was very aggravating and annoying to hear what that person said. So my reaction was no reaction. So in the olden days my reaction would be right away a very harsh or sharp reaction. You hurt my feelings, I'm going to hurt your feelings double. You showed me something that is not good with me, I'm going to show you 3 things that is not good with you. That's the old attitude. So yesterday I chose just not to react. Why? Because you let me think. And after a couple hours, when the ego calmed down, then I was like, you know what? That person was used by Hashem to be an alarm clock. How many times you say to somebody next to you, I'm going to take a nap for an hour, wake me up. And the person doesn't wake you up. Why didn't you wake me up? Well, I forgot. But I need to wake up. So sometimes Hashem is sending you alarm clocks. Not to wake up, rather to, I forgot to do something. And what that person told me, I could have taken it very personally and get very upset at him. And if Chas v'Shalom I didn't have control over my anger, I would come back with such a comeback, and it would cause a fight and an argument. But the idea is that I notice after a while, wait a minute, that person is just an alarm clock. He's just Hashem's messenger to remind me something that I need to pay more attention to. So what do I need to do to this person? I need to thank that person. Can you imagine how funny that would be if I call him to thank you so much for the message yesterday. You did an amazing job. You reminded me what I'm supposed to do. But that's the same idea that I'm thankful to Hashem. I have to be thankful to other people. Now, very interestingly, if you're looking at halakha, the halakha explains to us that there are 4 people that need to say gratitude or to say thanks to Hashem, what is called Birkat HaGomel. 4 types of people. The first one is a person who was seriously ill and he became cured, or he healed in a miraculous way. It's called Chole. The second one is called Chavush. A person was arrested, was sitting in jail or any type of detention, and he got out of jail. You have to say Birkat HaGomel. The third one is called Yordei Hayam, somebody who crossed the ocean. In our days you fly, but when you fly from one continent to another continent, you have to say Birkat HaGomel. There is an argument with the halakha that I heard not too long ago, because I flew 2 weeks ago from New York to Florida. Now, I didn't look at the route, but technically the plane could have been over the land the whole way. Who says he went over the ocean? Now, do I say Birkat HaGomel or not? Because I flew from one state to another state, but I don't know if it went over the ocean. Nevertheless, we checked the route and the plane did go out above the ocean, and to some degree it was above the ocean. You still have to say Birkat HaGomel, which comes again, different questions in halakha. You fly from New York to Los Angeles. You're flying on land the whole time. You still say Birkat HaGomel. The answer in most cases will be yes. But nevertheless, this is just the halakha. It's totally off the subject. So the third one who has to thank Hashem is Yordei Hayam, somebody who crossed the ocean. And the fourth one who has to thank Hashem is a person who crossed the desert. Desert is considered a dangerous place. In the olden days, they used to go from one city to another city. Sometimes it would take a whole month going on a convoy from crossing the desert. So you have to say Birkat HaGomel. This is according to halakha, when the Torah tells you, you must thank Hashem publicly and out loud. Now, going back to what are we talking about? We're talking about the week of love, the week of Chesed, week of relationships. And in a relationship with somebody that I love, I have to understand that without that person that is in my life, I will be suffering like one of these 4 categories that has to thank Hashem. So practically saying, I have to look at a person in my life. A person that either I'm getting along with amazingly, or maybe not. Everybody has at least one person in their life that they're kind of, I'm going to say it in a rude way, stuck in that relationship. Can be a parent, can be a sibling, can be a child, can be a spouse. But that's the relationship. It's not going to change so quickly. And of course, we all have good relationships. But take a relationship, good or bad, and say and you have to see and feel that without that person, I would be one of these 4 people that has to thank Hashem. That without that person, either I'll be sick, either I'll be a prisoner, I will be detained, either I will be stuck in the heart of the ocean, or I will be stuck in the desert. And of course, this is metaphorically speaking. I'm not going to actually now be stuck in a desert because my sister said something. I'm just saying that I have to look at the person in my life that without that person, I would be stuck in a state of either sickness or detained, closed in a prison, or stuck in the water, or in a desert. Now, if I remember that, if I constantly remember that in my heart, then I constantly will feel hakarat hatov to that person. Because I can look at a person in my life. Let's take now an example of a person that is not so smooth, the relationship. And sometimes I feel frustrated and I feel like screaming or cursing or yelling or fighting or hanging up the phone. Stop for a second to say, but wait a minute. That person is, again, I'm going to use this rude word, stuck in my life. And I can't get rid of this person. I'm on purpose using some harsh words, but I'm kind of stuck here. You can't get rid of your parent. You can't get rid of your child. You can maybe get rid of an annoying neighbor. Maybe, if you're lucky. But some people in your life, again, you're kind of stuck with that relationship. But you want to look at that relationship and understand that without that relationship, you are one of these 4 people that are stranded in a place that you can't, that you're in a place of danger. So, practically saying, you take a person that is dear to you. Now I gave an example with somebody who's less smooth in your life. But take a person that is actually, the relationship is smooth in your life. And now try to imagine your life without that person. Now can you imagine how much suffering you would go through? Chas v'shalom, lo aleinu v'lo alechem. Imagine now a person that you love in your life. A spouse, a parent, a child, a friend. Now imagine if chas v'shalom I lose this person right now. How much suffering will I go through? I'm going to be sick, sad. I'm going to be like a prisoner. I'm going to be like stuck in the middle of the ocean or stuck in the middle of a desert. This is the metaphorical part. You try to go down to the metaphorical part in the 4 categories. Now, when you see this person in your life, and you're imagining your life without that person, now go and thank that person for everything that they do to you. And this is really the Hod of Chesed, that you have to have this hakarat hatov, this gratitude for everybody in your life, whether good or bad. You have to recognize what the person does to you. If the person is good to you, no question here, that without that person in your life, you will be suffering. Thank that person, because you never know when that person will leave and you might not have the opportunity to thank them. And the thanking can be with words, the thanking can be with a hug, the thanking can be with whatever you want to. You know the person. Sometimes all it takes is for you to get up, give your child a kiss, tell the child, I love you. That's it. Pick up the phone right now, tell your parent, Mom, I love you. Thank you for everything you did to me. I appreciate everything. Hang up the phone. Why? Because you, chas v'shalom, if you lose that person, you're going to have a real void and suffering in your life. And on the other side, person that is not necessarily has the most smoothest relationship with you, but the person is a big part of your life. The person is there to refine you, to bring the best out of you, to make you grow. Thank the person and show appreciation. And if you have the attitude of constantly have hakarat hatov, appreciation and gratitude, when somebody does something for you, then needless to say, you are refining the midah that is called Hod of Chesed.